So do you guys remember how to check for workable clay?
No.
How do you check for workable clay?
Foil.
Roll around your finger, and if it doesn't crack, then it's good. Always using bats, right? You guys remember which side?
The rough side.
Rough side. So which side is that? This side or this side?
That side.
This side, yes. Without the label. Okay, if your bat pins are ever missing or come out with the bat, what should you do?
Nothing.
Nothing. Tell me. Yes, so that I can replace it, because otherwise,
Hit somebody with it.
no, yeah, your bat could go flying off or something could happen, so.
Sometimes it's all you want more.
Oh boy. All right, so how many pounds is this?
5.
5.
Oh my god, that's so much.
I know, this is what you guys are going to have to work with. Centering 5 pounds of clay is a little different than centering 2 or 3 pounds of clay. So, something that you can use to help help you with centering. Do you remember what this was called? Coning. And this will help you do things in sections. What am I doing with my elbows right now?
Brace.
Yes.
Looks like a mushroom.
Yep, it does.
Yeah, I don't like that sound.
You want to push in with your body, leaning over,
This is why I
my
have back
head.
problems.
And what's the goal for centering?
Make it centered.
Make it centered. How do you know it's centered?
Put your finger.
It's great.
I'm not going fast enough.
So every time you touch the clay, the wheel should be spinning, right? And your pressure on the clay should be easy on, easy off, right? Because right now it's centered, but if I press on and then I let go really quick, what happened to my clay?
Not centered.
You messed it
I
up.
messed it up. Because now you can see how wobbly it is, right? So sometimes I can walk over and say, yep, you're centered, but then when you let go really quick, then it doesn't work so well. So you guys are going to have really strong wrists. All this clay on the bat, you want to make sure that's off. Kind of keep scraping your hands off on your bucket. Only wet the clay when it starts drying out. Don't add too much water, otherwise what happens?
A crack.
It turns into slip, right?
That too.
Yeah. So what's my next step if it's centered?
Same.
What's that?
Put a hole in it.
Put a hole in it. So I just press in the center, my thumb, pull it towards me a little bit. How do I know how far down to go?
You poke it with the needle.
Okay, good. This is great. You guys are getting A pluses on this test so far. So I got half the needle point. So now how far do I open it?
A soda can.
Soda can diameter. Yep.
I remember. Only when I want to.
And then to prevent cracks in the bottom, what do I need to do? Yes, you guys are going to do great with this. Compress the bottom. And compress your rim all the time, right? So then you always want to have your hands closest to your body on the right side or the left side of your clay. Right side, unless your wheel is going the opposite direction, right? Which wheels go the opposite way?
The last two.
Last two and this one. And everything else goes to the right. So then your hands always are working together, right? You're still braced. You're squeezing and lifting against your inside hand. And you always want to make sure you're leaning in so you keep that volcano shape, right? So then it doesn't get wobbly. And you can press each time. You may even want to press with your sponge. How many of you raised walls with a sponge last time?
I did once and I broke it.
Okay. Because sometimes it's hard to control. A lot of times you press too hard with the sponge. So you might want to, like, it's good to press harder at the base and then just kind of lessen your pressure as you go up the wall. But you want to thin out your walls completely before you start shaping your bottle, right? Are you guys listening over there?
No.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Am I listening? No. I'm on it. I'm over it.
If I have any water trapped in here, I need to make sure that comes out, right?
It's like that episode of SpongeBob when they're doing
Yes.
And now I'm kind of changing my hands. So now I have my cylinder. I used up all my clay. Now what do I need to make it into?
a bottle.
And how do I do that?
Make it taller.
But I already used up all my clay.
Make it narrow.
I have to do a narrow neck, right? So then you're just going to compress, gradually bringing this in. And I went home and I tried to find porcelain and I'm all out. So I'm going to have to get some.
I can use
Maybe I'll-
porcelain clay.
It's very expensive and difficult to work with. It's very stretchy. And at least you admit it.
You can ask my dad to tell you the same thing.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm over it.
So then every time you neck in the rim, it's going to get thicker. So then you have to make another pull. It's building your wall and making it. So you just want to keep going back and forth. But now my rim's getting a little off, but that's okay. So this is the part where I said it can get tricky, right?
You should just leave it like that.
Just leave it like this. I have to fix my rim though.
Beautiful.
Piece.
Miss Hyde takes A+.
Oops, I'm getting dripping in the socks. So now maybe I can do something different with the rim up here, just to kind of make it a little more interesting. So now your rim, you don't want to pinch it so it's super thin. You still want to keep it, you know, about that 1/4 inch. You could round it off though with the sponge. Okay. And you could widen this out with your finger.
Can you make it into a square?
Sure. And you could also, you know, smooth this off with your sponge or your rib. And you do have to bevel the bottom. So I always start, I don't know, 2 finger height off of the bat. And then I just kind of undercut it, bevel it.
Neither do I need
Yep, so you just got to start above.
Right down the line. Throw it at me. I dare you.
No. Okay, and you said square?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or like an oval.
There, we'll just do it like that. And then maybe I could do this to the sides too. Would that be cool? I'll square it the other direction.
She's gonna mess it up. Should break.
It's kind of funny how it changes the whole thing just by pressing on it just a little bit. Those paddles would be fun to use, you know. And you guys could do the burnishing on these, right? Raku. You can pick what you want to do. And then the last part is just the draw wire.
Class when we do Raku fire.
You guys can, we'll come back for that. And then do you guys remember at the end where you store these?
On that shelf.
On that shelf, how long does it stay there for?
3 days.
I thought it was 2 days.
A week.
Isn't it just a day?
Is it longer than a month?
Depends.
Overnight?
Let it
Till you
dry.
come in the next day?
Let it dry.
Let it dry. So if I come in,
So like 4 days.
what?
I don't know.
1 day.
Close enough.
So I'll come back tomorrow and I will cut this off, you know, again, and store it in my shelf to do, you know, all my incising or burnishing or whatever it is, okay? If I finish this on a Friday and I have it in the shelf here, what do I need to put over it?
A bag.
A bucket. A
Oh,
bucket. And then on Monday I take the bucket off, and then Tuesday what do I do with it? Yep, put it in plastic bag till you're ready to trim the foot ring. So how do you think trimming a foot ring is going to be different for the bottles than your cylinders?
What?
How are you going to be able to balance everything on this rim? So the next step that you're going to do, and you guys know never to walk away from your wheel when you have a piece on it, right?
Yeah.
Because what could happen? Should I do it? No. Everyone was holding their breath.
She's gonna do it.
It would go flying, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Probably hit me.
So we're gonna use these chucks, so it's gonna be upside down, and then you'll be able to stabilize it on there. And I just cut it, so I think it might come off.
You broke it.
But you know, you would center this on the wheel, and then you would center this on top, and then you would put pieces of clay to anchor it, and then you would trim it that way. Okay?
What?
Yep.
I'm lost.
Tomorrow I'll show you.
You're always lost. Yeah.
Okay. So you can alter the rim. You just need to have a narrow neck. You can alter the shape of it.
I'm over it.
Is that a pretty good demonstration for what you guys need? It's basically a cylinder with a narrow neck, but you can make the neck as tall or narrow, alter the rim. You wouldn't want to just have it just a narrow rim, a tiny little rim. You want to be able to, and you can do lidded forms with these bottles. Do you guys want to see how to do that?
Yes.
Okay, that's just one more. Okay.
Bubbles.
Sky,
Bubbles.
Sky.
What?
Stop talking.
My head shiver. I can't do this.